It's time for the One Bar and Lepica Show, bringing you anything and everything Minnesota Vikings.
Welcome to professional football.
All right, welcome back to the One Bar and Lepica Show. I am Lepica's here with, I think that's One Bar under that box of shame.
Yeah, I was looking for a brown paper bag, but I couldn't find one. I'm embarrassed.
I think that works, and you probably have plenty of those empty boxes at your house. Minnesota Vikings are now officially 0-2, coming off a pretty dismal 28-11 performance at Indianapolis. One Bar, how does this game make you feel right now?
Well, it makes me feel sad. It makes me feel heartbroken. It gives me no hope leading into the future. These first two games were absolute dog shit, like the wet dog shit that comes out, not just an easy one that you can pick up, put in a bag. This is shit all over the place. We got some serious issues on this team. We're going to talk about it.
Yeah, another game where the Vikings, are totally outmatched as far as time possession goes. I don't know if you have the number there in front of you or not. The Colts controlled this one pretty much from the onset. The Vikings, again, struggling to get off the field when the defense is out there.
Yeah, let's start before we actually stepped onto the field. Inactive-wise for the Vikings, nothing crazy. Eddie Yarbrough was inactive, which is surprising. He's been their boy all year. DJ Wanham was active. For the Colts, a little bit of a surprise. Rock Ya-Sin, their cornerback, was inactive, which when I saw that, just on top of Xavier Rhodes, I got very excited. My parts got happy. Didn't matter. And then Jack Doyle as well, their starting tight end. So everything pointed to the Vikings being able to take control of the Colts team that lost to the Jags in week 1.
But it turns out we would have lost by 30 to the Jags in week 1.
Yeah, I don't even think we would have scored against the Jags.
I don't think so. And I don't know what the score is now, but they're hanging there with the Titans too. Another thing we got to mention before we get into the game, Anthony Barr goes down pretty early with a shoulder injury. I know he hasn't been the greatest lately, but again, you got Troy Dye on the field now. I saw Ryan Conley was out there quite a bit. This team, you really have a major lack of experience, and you're losing a starter again, another key position. Definitely does not help things.
Yeah, whether Barr is out there producing or not, he definitely has that leadership. He knows the team. He is one of the top dogs on this team, especially defense, where our big issues are. And the Colts as well lost Paris Campbell very, very early, which, again, when that happened, I assumed that was going to be a good thing for the Vikings.
They just kept dropping. And I know Malik Hooker went down too, I believe, for the Colts as well. And we still couldn't do anything. And, I mean, this game was tough to watch, not just from what we saw on the field, but, man, those shadows and that sun in Lucas Oil Stadium, I couldn't see where the ball was going. I didn't know who caught it or if they didn't catch it, but there really wasn't much to see from a Viking standpoint. So maybe this was for the best. Yeah,
it's for the best. Luckily, it helped shield some very gross plays where you didn't see him as well. And then again, on top of it, the Colts, we know they lost Marlon Mack for the year last week. So Jonathan Taylor was coming in, rookie stallion from Wisconsin, and getting his first start for the Colts.
Dominated us.
Dominated us. Let's so we're going to talk some good, some bad. We're going to give out the turd of the game and the stud of the game, but let's start with some good on the offensive side of the ball. What was good?
Good on the offensive side of the football.
You want me to go?
I'm really struggling. I can't. I guess Justin Jefferson looked all right. Got some balls. How about that?
Yeah, Justin Jefferson had 3 targets, caught all 3 of them, 3 for 43 or 3 for 44. He hasn't had a ton of opportunity, but when he has showed up. I hope they continue to push the ball to him. Dalvin Cook, not much action there. He got it late in the game, but he did have that touchdown and the 2-point conversion again. I don't even really chalk that touchdown as counting, but it did.
I found another one. C.J. Ham had a really nice run.
Yippee. 1 for 4. Good. Drew Samia, we finally got to see what he has to offer. He finally got his first start. Not a great showing. But we do have to remember this is really – he started against the Bears in Week 17 last year as kind of just we don't want anyone to get hurt. So this is really only his second start, but he looked like crap.
Yeah, you saw him in the backfield quite a bit. He was picking up Cousins, which is never a good sign because usually the lineman who picks up Cousins is the one who allows him to get hit. Are we still talking about the good?
Yes, let's go to the bad because that's where all the talk is going to be. Bad, strictly on offense. What do you got?
Well, first of all, Kirk Cousins he did not have it today. He was off. He was missing guys. He just seemed like he had no confidence. Took that ugly safety again. He tried to fight out of it. And I know he's being helped there by somebody. Maybe it was Samia, I think. But he was just off today. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered, I think. Even if the Vikings would have played good on defense, I think they still would have lost because Cousins just couldn't get it going at all.
Yeah, 11 for 26, 113 yards, three interceptions. Took that ugly safety, but his accuracy was all over the place. Missing Thielen big. He was taking some risks. They probably should have had more interceptions. That was very, very bad. The offensive line, again, did not play well. Look at the coaching. Look at Kubiak. Very, very suspect couple of first weeks, no doubt about that.
Yeah, the way he's calling these plays just makes no sense to me. There's no real rhythm to the offense. There's no flow. Just seems like he's just kind of randomly picking out a play. And, I mean, Cook barely got the ball the first drive. And so I think it was toward the end there he started giving the ball more. I thought they were going to feed him heavy. I mean, Jacksonville had pretty good success against the Colts last week. But, yeah, the coaching's been bad from a play calling standpoint and then just from just a preparation standpoint. These guys standing out there with their thumbs in their butt with no zip or anything to them, looking like they don't even want to be there. I don't know if it's a lack of fans or if it's – I don't know what it is with this team. This team is just flat from top to bottom right now.
Yeah, Alexander Madison didn't have a very, very great game. BC Johnson had a pretty ugly drop. Irv Smith, he had a couple drops and a couple gross penalties. Yuck.
How about when Madison tried his little splits move and just took one right in the dick?
Yeah, you know what? That was the most exciting of the freaking game.
Oh, yeah, that was bad.
And two games so far, Kyle Rudolph just doesn't seem to be much of a focal point of this offense, and he's getting paid a lot of money.
Why was he the one streaking down the field on that one deep throw? I would have much rather seen that be Irv Smith Jr. I don't know why Rudolph was being the vertical threat. He's
probably running to the locker room. He wanted to get the hell out of there.
Maybe he did. But he's one of these guys, one of these leaders that they need to step up. You know, he's been there a long time. He said he makes a lot of money. He is one of an all-time Viking great player at tight end. So he's got to get these guys going. Cousins got to get these guys going. Cook, because they need something. They need a big injection right in the butt to wake them up.
Yeah, and when you have the ball for 20 minutes or so, and last week it was 18, you are not going to win any games. You're not going to – when you have this many first downs, you are just setting yourself up to fail. Offense, big old fat F.
Yeah, I don't think you can give it any other grade. The line was horrible. Receivers were horrible. Cousins was horrible.
Everything was horrible. Let's talk defense, which was also very, very, very horrible.
It was, but let's start with the good. We're starting with the good. Yannick Ngakoue got some pressure today. He got the strip sack of Phillip Rivers, and he was close a couple other times. So that was one good thing to see. We had absolutely zero pass rush last week, but it went against a much better O-line, and we actually were able to get home a couple times. And, you know, Rivers doesn't move much, so that probably helped too. But at least we have a little sliver of a pass rush this week.
Yeah, we had pass rush. It was Jeff Gladney got his first start with Cam Dantzler out, and Gladney actually played pretty damn good. He looked like a rookie at times, but I'm very excited what Gladney brought to the table. Very good to see him. Other good. What else you got?
Well, I thought the coverage as a whole was a little bit better this week. You know, Hilton did get behind, who was it? Was it Smith in that one? Should have been a touchdown. He dropped it. But for the most part, at least our cover men were like within a yard of the Colts receivers. I know we had no answer for Mo Ali Cox, who apparently is the next Antonio Gates at tight end. But I thought that was a little bit better. And then I did think the run defense got better once Armon Watts stepped in the second half. He was doing a little bit better against the run up the middle than Julio Johnson was. So
yeah, Watts looked good. Something tells me the Vikings are going to make a lot of random guys like Mo Ali Cox this year look very, very good and have the game of their life, which is very disheartening. You mentioned Holton Hill. He had a better game than week one, so I'll give him that. He was having some good tackles. He did get smoked on that Jonathan Taylor one pretty bad, but I thought he looked okay. Harrison Smith was his usual, flying around, doing his thing. I actually feel bad for Smith out there. He's like trying to do everything.
Well, Kendricks too. I think another guy who's trying to do everything. You see him chasing down guys in their 30 yards back, or he's sideline to sideline. He's everywhere, making plays, doing what he can. He had like 12 tackles today. He can't do everything. He's only one man.
Let's talk bad, which there's plenty to talk about on defense. And for me, one of the worst ones. I mean, Eric Wilson had a very, very gross game. missing tackles, and pass coverage. He was just getting his ass smoked. Just not great. A run defense. This is going to be so tough to watch all year. We're going to have 100-yard rushers on us week in and week out.
Yeah, the run defense was horrible, especially the first 3 quarters of the game. Maybe Armand Watts can get elevated and help a little bit, but otherwise you got to wonder if the Vikings are going to try to see who's out there, who they can bring in.
Snacks.
But maybe they
Snacks
don't care.
Harrison.
Yeah, we all know he's there. We all want him. But yeah, the run defense was just, and I know this is a very good Colts offensive line, and Jonathan Taylor's a hell of a powerful runner, fast, but he can't give up 8 yards a pop every single time.
Well, and Odenigbo, he is, for being mildly pissed off that we brought in Yannick, he's played okay. He hasn't played like somebody that I would have hoped so far through 2 games. He gave me a lot of hope last year in the last second half of the season, but he hasn't really showed up. Jalen Holmes, it's great that he can play defensive tackle and defensive end. We can move him around. It's not real. Nobody's really wowing us out there.
No, other than Yannick, I mean, there was really no one on this defense that was, and I give him credit. After he had that strip sack, he was all fired up. He was, pumping his arms, veins. You could just see those things coming out, and he just about destroyed the ref, and he was celebrating. So at least he was trying to get people fired up.
Yeah, we need that. We need that a lot earlier than the fourth quarter, and we're getting smoked. We need some leadership. We need that Everson Griffin. We need that loudmouth like Stephon Diggs out there. We need something happening to get this team going. Even when you look at Adam Thielen, I mean, at this point, he should be one of the big leaders on this offense. And when it showed him, even him, he was just like nothing.
No, he was laughing. He'd have a drop or something. And he's just kind of
yeah. It's sure the hell ain't funny to watch. I'll tell you that.
No, it was tough to watch. I was crying at times.
Oh wow. So again, a complete disaster for the Minnesota Vikings, who are 0-2 for the first time since like 2013. First time they've been 0-2 with Mike Zimmer. It's gross.
It doesn't feel good. I don't like the way it feels. I don't like the way it tastes. I don't like the way it smells.
It smells like shit. It tastes like shit. And when you look at their upcoming schedule, it is going to get shittier and shittier unless these Vikings all of a sudden have something where all of a sudden they turn this team around, because they got the Seahawks, they got the Titans, they got the Falcons, Packers again. It is looking rough.
Well, you keep talking about shit, so I think it's a great time for the turd of the game.
Turd of the game. Well, there's so many turds to pick from here. I don't even know who to grab, but I got one.
Well, I think the one I got is the stinkiest one of the bunch today. Probably a big old good-sized dump, I'm guessing. It's Kirk Cousins. 11 yards passing, 113 yards, 3 interceptions. Again, one was a Hail Mary, so that doesn't really count. But this guy was off from the start. I forgot about bad Kirk Cousins, and bad Kirk Cousins showed up today. He couldn't hit anybody, and when he did, they were dropping it. He took some bad sacks. It was horrible. Kirk Cousins, my turd of the game, hands down.
Yeah, and there's only so many times you can say, like, well, look at the field position he's getting. Look where they're putting. Look at the situations they're putting him in, their defenses, and helping him out. That's true, but great quarterbacks go above that. They go out there and make things happen, and he looks like garbage. But anybody saying that we just need to cut bait with him after this year or whatever, it's not even a possibility. They're going to have to eat so much money in the salary cap. There's not even a chance. So he's going to be our guy. We got to watch it and just become Kirk Cousins lovers, I guess. All right, my turd is pretty damn easy. I already mentioned him as not having a great game, and by not great, I mean horrible. I'm going Eric Wilson. I'm going on the defensive side of the ball. He was getting smoked left and right in passing game, horrible tackling. He had a few good sticks, but that does not make up for those missed plays. He did have that interception, but that thing bounced right in his hands. This is a guy that is looking to get a big contract next year, prove teams that he can be a starter in the NFL, prove the Vikings that he's worth the investment. And between these first 2 games, I think he has just had a horrible start. So Eric Wilson is my turd.
Yeah, and before we get into the start of the game, I do want to mention special teams, another area of this team that I've not been very impressed with. Britton Colquitt, I don't know, his leg just does not look as strong as it did last year. Kind of line driving punts today. The coverage, Dan Chisena, not only did he illegally touch that ball, but he caught it when it was still bouncing toward the end zone about 9 yards earlier than he needed to. So a couple boneheaded plays there. KJ Osborne, this guy not have any burst? I don't know. He just doesn't seem very fast. I don't know. I'm not sure what I think of that guy yet.
Yeah, he I don't know. It doesn't look that much different from when Amir Abdullah was returning them. I was glad that he opted not to try to catch those in the sun. That was very, very scary. And back to Chesina, this guy is supposed to be the second coming of Don Beebe or Chris Walsh, whoever. And that was a really, really weird, dumb play.
Yeah, I don't get that at all.
The ball was bouncing back, and he grabbed it to stop it from bouncing back, and he had already ran out of bounds, so it was pointless. And also on the special teams, which you didn't mention, I don't think we ripped on Zimmer enough in the coaching. These guys coming out completely flat, just looking horrible, not prepared. But at special teams, we call that punt or call that timeout to ice the kicker, whatever they were doing at the end of the half, waste a timeout, and then we get the ball back, and they come up, and we don't have any timeouts and run out of time. Joke.
Yeah, I thought we were just going to take a knee there, but we're going for it. We're trying to win. We're going to win the ball game. All right, so
who's the stud? Who's the stud of the game? Oh.
Well, picking the stud of this game is like going to prom with your sister, but I'm going to go with Yannick Ngakoue just for getting to the quarterback, getting that strip sack, showing us Vikings fans that there is some pass rush here, even without Danielle Hunter. So thank you, Yannick, and thank you for being fired up as well.
I'm going with Justin Jefferson, the rookie. He only had 3 targets. That wasn't his fault. He got all 3 of them. He's looking pretty damn good. Even last week, very limited, but he got the targets. And when he gets the ball in his hands, he's looking good. I'm very excited about Justin Jefferson. I'm going to wear this till next Sunday.
You look really good in that thing, actually.
Best I've ever looked.
All right. Well, we're not sure what we think of the Minnesota Vikings right now. No one's leaving this game with a feeling of confidence for the rest of the season. But one thing that you can't deny is that Saddam Hussein once wrote a romance novel.